We come together this morning to remind one another to rest for a moment on the forming edge of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment, until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, taking the time to look into one another's faces and see their communion, the reflection of our own eyes. This house of laughter and silence, memory and hope, is hallowed by our presence together. Now please join in singing opening hymn number 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple."
So I have quite a few candles to light this morning. So this is the first candle of Advent, hope. So we are entering a time of year where the earth grows colder. The animals. A time of year where the earth grows colder. The animals begin to hibernate. I'd be one of them. And the days become continually colder. This morning marks the beginning of the season of Advent. In the Christian tradition, Advent is the beginning of the church year, recognizing the transforming power of God in this world and looking forward toward the birth of Jesus and the celebration of spiritual light. And Christianity is not alone in celebrating light at this time of year. Hanukkah, solstice, and Kwanzaa all involve candles, fire, and lights as part of their celebration. Each week until Christmas, we light a new candle on the Advent wreath, a circle of evergreens, along with each of the preceding candles. The flame of each new candle reminds us that something is happening now, but something more still is to come. The light of Advent grows brighter and brighter, guiding us toward personal peace, shared joy, and more love. This morning, we light the first candle. We light this candle as a symbol of hope and expectation. May we dare to open the shadowy places in our lives and memories to the healing light of the community. With the creative power of hope, we express our longing for peace and prepare our hearts to be transformed in this season. And next, come on, you can do it. It does not want to go. There. The second candle is our land acknowledgement, which although we light this candle every week, it is no less transformative. We light this candle in recognition of the Tamian and Muwekwa Ohlone indigenous peoples, who were the first humans to inhabit and sustain this land thousands of years before settler colonizers arrived. We honor the resilience of these indigenous people in the face of devastating harm. And we lift up the resilience of their neighboring tribal band to the south, the Ama Mutsun tribal band, with whom we are now working to preserve their sacred land of Eustace and ensure that their culture continues to thrive. And now for the transforming power of the chalice. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of spirit. All of that. It's back. And now if you could put the affirmation on the board, if we can. We'll do please join me, rise as you are willing and able to say the affirmation of this congregation. You'll find it in the screen and in the handout for the order of service. It is also inscribed in many of our hearts. We say it in English and Spanish as a symbol of the many languages spoken in this community and beyond, the many languages of the soul. You have that? Okay. Love is a doctrine of this church. The blessed of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To be held together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls may grow into harmony with the divine. This to be covenant with one another. El amor a toda fine de iglesia. La búsqueda de verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es su oración. Aportar y servir a la humanidad juntos, con el fin que todas las almas puedan crecer en armonía con lo divino. Esto es lo que cantamos unos de los otros. So first, with the welcoming, I'd like to introduce Reverend Claire Eustace, who serves as a chaplain at the Hospice East Bay and is a community-affiliated minister at the First Unitarian Church of Oakland. She currently serves on her union's bargaining team, which is bargaining its first contract. And she lives in Oakland with her family. So she also, I believe, gave a sermon last October as well. So she's not new to this church. And welcome. My name is Bill Bowman. My pronouns are he and his. I am about 5'6", with a bit of a beard and mustache. I'm wearing a 49ers jacket and sweater because I am cold, and and blue jeans. And my so welcome again. We are a people of many genders and sexualities, and we cherish all other diversities among us, including the size, shape, age, and color of our bodies and what we're capable of doing at any given time. We value and affirm neurodivergence, people whose brain differences affects how their brain works, as well as the diversity of our beliefs. You are welcome as your whole self in this sacred time. The mission of this church, our sincere intent, is to make love visible in all that we say and do. If you are new here, please reach out and talk with any of us. We value your presence. We want to thank the volunteers and staff who made today's service possible. We appreciate your service, without whom we could not be here today. And now, if we can possibly, I'm not sure that this is going to happen, to say hello to people on Zoom. Are we going to do that? Okay, let's wave to the people on Zoom. Hello there. Okay, yes, and wave hi back to us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Even though you are remote, you are no less beloved in our hearts. Thank you. So I do have one announcement, but fuller information is always in Nika's regular Wednesday email with the subject line, "This week at FUCSJ." And if you don't receive those emails and would like to, please send a request to Nika at sanjoseuu.org asking to be added to her list. And maybe we'll have that email in chat, and maybe we won't. So there is one announcement, if I could bring that up on my phone, because I don't have a printer at home. So, and I got this a little late. So give me just a moment. Okay, here we go. So on December 15th, in 2 weeks, we are going to have the Guest at Your Table fundraiser. It's an annual event for UUSC. Each year at this time, friends, and families in our congregation participate in their Guest at Your Table, a UU tradition. So here is the Guest at Your Table spiritual practice. We have boxes or containers up at the front, or if you want to use your own, that's fine, to collect money For the UUSC, as you connect with the stories of people that UUSC serves. This is the you can find that at uusc.org/guest. This is the traditional one that we usually have, which we lift up as an option for church-wide participation. Families and individuals place the box or container in a prominent place at their dining table, share or read a story every night at the table, and then put into the box an amount of money it costs to put your own dinner on the table, or whatever you can afford. I like to joke that change is inevitable, and when it gets too much in my pockets, I should take it out. At the end of the guest of your table spiritual practice period, convert all the money you have collected into one check, make it out to FUCSJ with UUCSCGEYT in the memo line, and bring it back to the church on December 15th to end the guest at your table spiritual practice period. If you missed that Sunday, you can give online at donate.uusc.org/team/33895. Hopefully we can have that printed somewhere here, because I don't think anyone will remember that number. Or mail it to FUCSG anytime in December. And it's really, really best if you can convert that to money or a dollar amount, because I'm sure they don't want their pockets loaded down the way mine are right now. And we will go right into the offering right now. So now is the time in our service when we invite contributions that help our ministries to grow and thrive. Our tech people will post a slide with the URL for donating through our website and the church's address if you would like to send a check. You can also simply go to our website, sanjoseuu.org, click donate at the top of our homepage, and then click the donate button to make your offering with a credit card or through PayPal. Will the worship associates, or worship hosts, or greeters, please come up for this offering. not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. And this is as it should be, as long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. This church is here because of the offerings of generations who came before us. And so we give to the next with each collection. Thank you. And now is the time in our service where we lift up our voices, those for concerns or joys, because there are always joys and there are always concerns. Both ravel in our lives, mixed in with hope and caring. Please come to the sand table as you are willing and able. Speak very briefly, no more than a sentence or two, to let us know what your concern or joy is. We will have a candle there. Place a candle in the sand. Say your joy and concern, and then sit down. Thank you.
Each other, we are not alone. We can work together to bring great justice here. And please provide us solace when we need it. We ask you this with great gratitude and deep humility for all of our blessings. Amen.
I've been waiting for answers. I've been waiting a long, long time. If I open the door, won't you come inside? My heart's begging for mercy. How much longer can I stand still and be hopeful and doubting and torn inside? And all this time I've been staring know I could keep you waiting all night for it. So hold tight, don't lose sleep over the half life. Know that everything is all right, just like it is. And all this time I've been staring at the minute hand. Oh, what a crime. Oh, that I can't seem to understand that life is in the waiting. Life is in the waiting.
Our reading today is on a poem called On Emptiness by Garrett Hongo. And emptiness is a Buddhist concept. It's not quite what you would think of emptiness in the Western in Western mind, but more understanding of the spirit that surrounds us and connects us all. The Tang Chinese did it best, a poet's solo, in progressions gathered from wilderness, while he stood beside the long vertical scroll of a cataract, hung by a natural God. Its script, the Heraclitean flow of the way. Or sitting on mats at tea with a friend and fellow bureaucrat, posted on borderlands far from the capital of their educations. The two of them engaged in brisk repartee, citing amiably from the Book of Songs, their light banter, a fellowship of odium, the lyric axis of contemplation. While the world persists a world in famine, regional war, or harvest of plenty. What they took from one another, gazing at the festival moon as it rose over crags of mountains, the slithers and fountains of rivers. Surrounding their hut, 10-foot square, was a joyous loyalty to reflection, a stilling of the mind that invites the soft thoughts of an unknotted wind, caravels of contentment with the great whatever. Let it be to them was not a credo, but a daily practice, a hermeneutics of calm retreat, like those aquamarine waters below my window today. Only ripples and whirls like sapphire fingerprints and ephemeral wings of blue de France upon the wind. In MASH, the colonel in command fly-fished a trickle of stream to the middle of the Korean War, checked out and privileged to pull a wine glass and bottle of Chardonnay from his creel. Did he have it right? A firecrest chitters. Cicadas clacks in waves, clicking their thoracic chambers of amplification. And an excursion boat's engine drones on through the harbor, trailing a long wake of immaculate lace over the channel's Persian blue table. The slate fills my window, and I can see the horizon line from here. The white palette knife of a sail just below it. And I wonder if the pale flamingos of Camargue might present themselves to me someday. Why has this lesson been so hard to relearn all these years? Why have I allowed the settled law of my soul to be disrupted by tyrannous magistrates of the everyday? A groundswell of incessant woe flushing a salting tincture of gentian through my mouth, my head constantly hung like a seabird hunched before its dive instead of lifted to meet the new day's yellow light. A strong espresso this morning, and some kind of warbler makes its melodic cry outside my window. I can't see Africa from here, but I can feel its continental drift, a steady tumulus of soul-making, arising from the peregrine about to cross the expansive idols of ocean. If only I could stand the infinite measures, wait long enough, and not waste their buoyant resolve. If only I might dwell in emptiness the rest of my days. And please rise as you are able to, willing and able to sing number 352, Find a Stillness.
I'm gonna first just give a visual description of myself. I'm also about 5'6", middle-aged, pink woman with medium brown hair, blue glasses, wearing a purple dress and also a purple stole that I got for my ordination at First Unitarian Church of Oakland. So I want to first thank Reverend Matthew for inviting me back. It's a pleasure to be back with you in this beautiful congregation. I can't believe that the first time I was here was in October. It's a really nice place. Imagine you are all alone in a hospital bed. You are unable to speak, but you can see and hear. A person enters and smiles warmly at you, greeting you by name and introducing themselves. That person then sits by your bedside and offers their hand by placing it underneath yours. You hold their hand. You can feel their presence as they sit with you. They say a few reassuring words, but mostly they are silent. You feel the connection with them as you breathe together. At the end of their visit, they thank you and offer a kind word. You continue to feel their presence for a while as you drift to sleep. Providing spiritual presence is the most basic task of a spiritual care provider. For me, providing spiritual presence starts with the act of accepting a person and treating them with unconditional positive regard. Those of you who've taken psychology courses probably recognize that the term unconditional positive regard comes from Carl Rogers, who contributed humanistic theory to the field of psychology. I find that meeting people that I serve with unconditional positive regard contributes greatly to my ability to connect with them. My role is not to judge, correct, or challenge people. My role is to love them, and beginning the relationship with a non-judgmental frame of mind makes it easier to love them. Today, with this time, we are doing something a little different. Instead of a regular, straightforward sermon, I want to help provide an experience of receiving and providing spiritual presence to each other. We will do this through play and through reflection. Although I will do a certain amount of speaking, I hope to provide space for all of you to share as well. We are doing this today because I am hearing from a lot of people that they are having a hard time being present in the world right now. This includes being present to oneself and being present to others. For some people, it's easier to hole up by themselves and maybe play video games rather than take in what might happen in the next 4 years. I do think escape has its purpose, and maybe what we need right now is also to be with others. So have you heard about the recent Washington Post article by Perry Bacon Jr.? Okay. It's called Don't Doom Scroll About Trump. Do these 5 things instead. Second on the list is to join a Unitarian Universalist congregation. So you are all ahead of the game already by being here. So how many of you have spiritual practices? Great, I see that several of you raised their hands. I can't see people on Zoom, but I'm hoping you are also, a few of you at least have raised your hands too. So I just I'll repeat on the mic, but so would one of you share what your practice is?
I meditate every day at 6:30 a.m.
Oh, great. So okay, thanks.
Go for it. Oh, I meditate every morning at 6:30 a.m.
So make sure that her mic is on, but she meditates at 6:30 in the morning every day. says he says a prayer every, several times a day for every person, and before each meal. I got that right. One more.
Well, I don't get up quite as early as my ex-wife, but I do meditate as well.
And Bill also meditates every day as well. So that's great that many of you are already engaging in something that is grounding. And my guess is that many of you who didn't raise your hand have practices that sustain you, which you might not name as spiritual practices. So how many of you exercise regularly? Okay, lots of people here, great. How many try to eat healthfully? A lot of people raise their hands with that too, great. How many of you brush your teeth every day? Got some more hands? Floss? All right. So some people consider all of these things to be spiritual practices. One family of spiritual practices that I rely on from time to time is interplay. Interplay is a storytelling and movement modality developed by two Protestant ministers who were also dancers. They wanted to integrate dance with their ministry. A goal of interplay is to integrate body, mind, and spirit. One belief of the founders of interplay is that body, mind, and spirit are not separate entities, but we learn in Western culture to separate them. So I invite you all to engage in interplay with me today. So please stand if that is comfortable for you, otherwise stay seated. So the first thing we will do together is to breathe in, then breathe out audibly. Okay, breathe in. And again. And one more time because we can. Thank you. All right, now swing one arm. And swing the other arm. Swing both of them together. Now maybe hold on to something for balance as you swing a leg. You can hold on to each other if they're consenting to that. Now swing the other leg. Now make wide circles with your hips. All right. Go in the other direction. Now shake your body spirit to the floor. Take it on down to the floor, to the ground. All right, now let's do some fake opera singing, and I'll leave the mic for that. All right. La 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 la. La 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 la. All right, wonderful. All right, now let's do some fake country western singing. All right, thank you. Now let's do some fake ballet dancing. All right, great. Okay, thank you all for that. That was a short interplay warm up. Now pair up. Find a partner. Okay, does anybody, who needs a partner? It looks like one person needs a partner here. Okay. Is it, all right, does anybody, okay, you need a partner, right? You're not, you're taking a break. Okay, does everybody else have a partner? All right. Okay, this next activity is called ranting in gibberish, or you can call it ranting in sacred language. I prefer, gibberish just makes more sense to me, so I like saying gibberish. So the way this works is that you think about something that you're upset about, and then you rant about it using the language, either using sacred language or language of gibberish. So basically, it's something that nobody else can understand. So I'll model it for you. So that's a brief, you don't just, that's an example. And if you can't think of a topic to rant about, just start ranting and maybe something will occur to you, and nothing, and I've never seen anything bad happen to anybody do this. So I think it'll be fine. All right. While one partner rants, the other partner's job is to listen. That's all you do, you just listen. And you can make eye contact, it's great. Your main job is to listen, or your only job is to listen. So the first person to rant will be the one with the shorter hair. So figure that out. All right. Looks like, okay. And let's start. All right, thank you. Now, second partner, now it's your turn. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So what was that like for you? Exhausting, fun? Okay, great. And I'm sorry, I forgot to include people on Zoom. So people on Zoom, you probably figured this out. If you are with somebody already, you can partner with that person. Otherwise, just do it to the screen. So, great. Okay. What was it like to be a listener during that? I heard it was hard. Okay, thank you. You could sense sense one person said that she could sense emotions. That's really important. That's really important. Okay, great, thank you. And I'm wondering, I'm wondering if people observed that it was difficult to stay present to your emotions while ranting due to a concern that about how the other person was receiving it. Did anybody have that issue? Yeah, with a few people. Okay, and that's great that you noticed yourself having that, because part of being present to yourself is observing when you're not present. So it's kind of like meditating. When you're meditating, you realize where you've drifted off into, thinking about all kinds of monkey mind things. All right, now thank your partner and find a new partner. And on Zoom, you'll be doing this either with whoever you're with in your home, or also to the screen. All right. Looks like we're still looking for partners. It looks like we're still. Oh, okay. Does everybody have a partner? You don't have a partner? Oh, okay, Diane's gonna go with you? Okay, right now we're all partnered up? Okay, so this, figure out which one of you lives closer to a convenience store?
Well, it's Cardenas, it's a market.
Okay. All right. Okay, this next, okay, and then if you can't figure it out, just choose one person. This next activity is called babbling. I will give you a topic and you will babble about it. You don't have to make sense or be interesting. It can be really boring. It's fine. The other person's job is to listen and not say anything, kind of like the last time. Like the last activity, I will ring the bell to start and to end. All right, the first person to babble will be the person who lives farther from the convenience store. Your topic is the view outside a window in your home. Thank you, thank you. Okay, partner that lives closer to the convenience store. Babbling is just talking about whatever the topic is. But we're moving on to the next partner now. So sorry that wasn't clear. In English. Oh, were you babbling in gibberish? Oh, okay. All right, that's okay. So the next partner, your topic is describe your bathroom.
Well, I'll speak English. Describe my bathroom small. Old-fashioned. Big tub. It's dark. That's
Oh, yeah,
old-fashioned.
okay.
A sink. Old-fashioned. Floor that's black and white. Because it's an old house. And let's see what else is in there. No storage space.
Not loud enough, I hope so. You're not supposed to
Heater, which is wonderful.
Yeah, okay. Good time. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So what was, I'd like to get some feedback. What was that like for you? A lot tiring, a lot to say about bathrooms. Fascinating. Good visualization. Awesome. What was it like to listen?
I realized that when I was listening, I was also assuming I was going to speak about the same thing. So I was thinking about what
Yeah.
my view from the window.
Good one. Okay, good. That happens to us a lot. So the response was when she was listening, she was thinking about what she was going to say about the first question because she thought it was also going to be a view outside her window. So that happens to us a lot when we're supposed to be listening. We're actually thinking about what we're going to say instead. So that was a great example. Anyone else? Oh, yes, please. Yeah, yeah. It is difficult. So this person just said that it was difficult to listen without doing active listening and participating and relating it to himself and yeah, that because it's not really the normal way we usually talk to people. We usually don't just sit there in silence. Thank you. All right, now thank your partner and return to your seats. So thank you for your energetic participation. I regularly lead reflections at the beginning of my team meetings at work. And about quarterly, I like to do an interplay reflection. And I find it increases the energy in the room, which is often helpful at 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. It also loosens people up and helps them turn their attention away from what they were doing before the meeting and be able to turn their attention to the meeting. Our first paired activity, ranting and gibberish, is a great way to get out negative energy about whatever you're upset about without burdening the other person, because you're not like unloading on them because they don't know what you're ranting about. So that it's actually a really beautiful activity. I often used it during my chaplain residency training, which I can't believe I completed it so long ago. It's been, I think, 6 years since I finished that. Sometimes I would do it without a partner because I didn't have somebody with me. And it was still helpful even without a partner, though it's more connective to have someone there listening. So the listening practice with those activities are excellent preparation for providing spiritual presence to others, especially people with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. Often people with these conditions are babbling, and they often don't make sense. But it's important to pay attention to what they're saying, even if they aren't making sense. So listening to somebody rant and gibberish helps you connect with their underlying emotion, like what somebody reflected about here. So for example, I recently had a patient who came onto hospice after having a major stroke. And this person often said on the phone to mean a number of different things. The social worker, I always did joint visits with the social worker for this person because it just turned out that it worked really well for us to be together. And we were able to connect with her by acknowledging her emotions. We could sense her emotions by paying attention to her body language and the way she was saying things. So in one visit, she was really agitated and sad, and in other visits, she was in good spirits. And she said mostly the same thing in all of those visits, but her mood was night and day in those visits. All right. So because it's almost 12:15, we're going to skip the last activity, but I'm going to talk about it. So breathing with someone is sometimes the best way to connect with someone who is nonverbal or, maybe actively dying. So at that point, the person is no longer verbal. They are aware that someone is with them, but they aren't interactive. It might not be possible to breathe exactly with that person because they are usually breathing more quickly than usual. But in that case, I usually find it to be possible to breathe one breath for each of their 2 breaths. I also find that practice to be helpful with my patients who are nonverbal. With nonverbal patients, I usually start my visit by talking about things in their room, any conversation I recently had with their family, and I usually talk about the weather. I pray or play music through YouTube if that is something that their family has requested or something that I did with that person when they were verbal. I then spend the bulk of my visit providing spiritual presence. By breathing with them, I'm able to connect with them in a basic way. So today, we've all had a chance to practice our skills at being present with others. This training that I've had, and you've had a little bit of it here, that training has not only helped me become professionally competent, but also to become a better friend, partner, and parent. We all have people in our lives, and the ability to be present with them will help your relationships. May you develop your capacity, and may it serve your spiritual health in the upcoming years. And please join me in singing closing hymn number 88, Calm Soul of All Things. invite you to hold hands with the people next to you, or feel your energetic presence between your hands, however works for you. And take everything good you received here and take it with you in the upcoming days. May you be more present to yourselves and each other in the days ahead. Blessed be. Amen.